Gordon off the pick, in on Gobert to the basket, throws it up. No, Şengün! Yes!
I like how you're just putting that in.
Oh! I'm switching my vote! It's Alperen!
Yeah, I mean,
Played well. Alperen Sengun!
Be confidence and just go over there and kill it, and that's who I am, and that's what I'm gonna do. Every night I'm playing.
The NBA told Alperen Sengun exactly what he'd never be. Too slow, too unathletic, too old school. A center who couldn't shoot, couldn't switch, couldn't survive when it mattered most. This season, 21.4 points, 9.2 rebounds, 6.4 assists, shooting over 30% from three after years of being told he couldn't, running Houston's offense, while Kevin Durant calls him the most unique center he's ever played with. The Rockets are 31-17. Top 5 in the West, and the kid drafted 16th overall, the one scouts called a tweener and a project, just made the league pay for every doubt. But this version of Sengun wasn't supposed to exist. To understand why, we have to go back to where it all started. July 29th, 2021, the NBA draft. Cade Cunningham goes first. Jalen Green goes second. Evan Mobley, Scotty Barnes, Jalen Suggs, all lottery picks with lottery hype. Names that dominated mock drafts for months. Then, at pick 16, Oklahoma City selects a kid from Turkey most casual fans had never heard of, Alperen Şengün.
The Oklahoma City Thunder select Alperen Şengün from Giresun, Turkey.
And immediately, the question started. Undersized for a center at 6'9", lacks great length, average athlete by NBA standards. Too old school to succeed in the modern NBA? But here's what they missed. Şengün had just won Turkish League MVP at 18 years old, not against teenagers, against grown men, against former NBA players in their prime. The Turkish Super League isn't some developmental circuit. It's one of the best leagues in the world outside the NBA. The 4 MVP winners before him, Shane Larkin, Brad Wanamaker, Bojan Bogdanovic, Gigi Datome, all NBA players in their mid to late 20s. Şengün did it as a teenager, and it still wasn't enough. Houston acquired his rights and brought him over. Rookie year, just 21 minutes per game, buried on the bench behind a rebuilding roster with no direction. Second year, the same frustrations, the same ceiling. Third-year head coach Stephen Silas actively discouraged him from shooting threes, telling him to stay in the paint, stay in his lane. The shot wasn't there. The defense was a question mark, and the whispers grew louder. Maybe the scouts were right. Maybe Şengün is just a highlights in Turkey guy who can't cut it at the highest level. Maybe the modern NBA simply doesn't have room for a player like him. For 2 years, Alperen Şengün heard every criticism, read every scouting report, watched lottery picks from his own draft class get opportunities he wasn't given, and he waited, patiently, quietly, while putting in work nobody saw. Because those scouts made one critical mistake. They measured Alperen Şengün's ceiling by what he couldn't do. They never accounted for what he was willing to become. Year 3. Something clicked. Şengün wasn't fighting for minutes anymore. He was demanding them. New head coach Ime Udoka saw what others had missed and finally unleashed him. 21.1 points, 9.3 rebounds, 5 assists per game. The first Rockets All-Star since James Harden and Russell Westbrook in 2020. But it wasn't just the numbers. It was how he was getting them. Post moves that looked like they belonged in a different era, but worked against modern defenses. Footwork so precise that elite rim protectors couldn't stay in front. Passing vision that had people whispering one name, Jokic. The ability to read plays before they happened. To thread passes through impossible windows. To make everyone around him better simply by touching the ball. On January 20th, 2025, Şengün recorded his 1,000th career assist, becoming the youngest center in NBA history to reach that milestone. A few days later, he became just the 16th player ever to accumulate 4,000 points, 2,000 rebounds, and 1,000 assists within 250 games. The other 15? Hall of Famers, legends, generational talents. Şengün was just getting started. The Rockets finished 52-30, second in the Western Conference, their best record since the Harden era. Houston hadn't just arrived, they'd announced themselves as contenders. Then came the playoffs. Golden State Warriors, first round, 7 games of war. Sengun battled. Game after game, he showed up. But the Warriors had been here before. They knew how to win when it mattered. Game 7, Sengun gave everything. 21 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists. It wasn't enough. Houston lost 103-89. Season over. Dreams shattered. After that game, Sengun stood at the podium, cameras flashing, reporters waiting, and he said something that changed everything. I think I improved my defense this season, but I have to work a lot more on my offense. I didn't have a great year on offense. I was better last year, I would say. Let that satisfyingly sink in. The All-Star, the youngest center ever to hit 1,000 assists, was saying he wasn't good enough. The stats said one thing. Sengun knew the truth was different. He'd been exposed, limited. Teams had figured out that if you made him shoot from outside, you could survive. And in the playoffs, surviving is all that matters. That moment, standing at that podium, admitting his own failure, became the catalyst. That offseason, everything changed. Not just for Sengun, for the entire franchise. Because Houston was about to make the biggest move of the summer and hand Alperen Şengün the keys to something special. June 22nd, 2025, the NBA got rocked. Houston traded Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, and draft capital to Phoenix for Kevin Durant, a 14-time All-Star, a 2-time champion, one of the greatest scorers in basketball history, a player who had dominated every era he'd played in, now playing alongside Alperen Şengün. The basketball world didn't know what to make of it. Durant had played with Westbrook, Curry, Harden, Kyrie, Booker, superstars with rings and MVPs. Now he was joining a 23-year-old center from Turkey on a team that just got bounced in the first round. The question everyone asked, could 2 offensive alphas coexist? Then disaster satisfyingly struck. Right before training camp, Fred VanVleet, Houston's point guard, the steadying veteran presence, the engine of their half-court offense, tore his ACL. Done for the season before it even started, the Rockets needed a playmaker, someone to run the offense, make decisions, create for others. They turned to their center, but Sengun had been preparing for exactly this moment. All summer, while the trade rumors swirled and the roster transformed, Sengun attacked his biggest weakness, the three-point shot, the hole in his game that teams had exploited for years. He worked with Rockets assistant coach Cam Hodges, brought in Serbian shooting specialist Georgia Sejan, hours every day, rebuilding his mechanics from the ground up, not just tweaking, transforming. Then came the test. Eurobasket 2025. Turkey needed their best player to be more than an all-star. They needed him to be a leader. Sengun didn't just play for Turkey. He carried them, night after night, no matter the opponent. 21.6 points, 10.1 rebounds, 6.6 assists per game, shooting with confidence he'd never shown before. He led them all the way to the final and proved to the world that the work was real. His national team coach, Ergin Ataman, told him one thing throughout the tournament: shoot. If you're open, shoot. If you're not open, shoot anyway. Head coach Ime Udoka had been saying the same thing back in Houston. For the first time, Sengun finally believed them. When Durant arrived for training camp, he saw something the scouts had missed for years: the footwork, the vision, the way Sengun manipulated defenses and created shots for everyone around him. After their first preseason game together, someone asked Durant a simple question: had he ever played with a center possessing Sengun's level of offensive gravity? His answer was immediate: no, not at all. Not with the Warriors, not with the Nets, not with the Suns. In 17 years of playing with Hall of Famers and All-Stars, Kevin Durant had never experienced anything like this. This wasn't about Durant saving Sengun. It wasn't about the veteran carrying the young star. It was about Sengun finally having the space and the belief to become everything he was always capable of becoming. And when the season started, the NBA realized they'd made a terrible mistake, because this wasn't the same Alperen Şengün. This was something far more dangerous. October 2025, opening night, Oklahoma City Thunder, the defending champions, the reigning kings of the West, The team? Everyone expected to run it back. Alperen Şengün had other plans. 39 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, and a career-high 5 made 3-pointers, 5 threes, from the guy who shot 23% from distance his rookie year, from the center scouts said would never stretch the floor. Opening night, against the champs, and Şengün announced to the entire league, everything you thought you knew is wrong, but he was just getting started. Through November, Şengün was shooting 45.9% from 3, 1.5 makes per game. This wasn't incremental improvement. This wasn't minor growth. This was a complete transformation. After a game against Portland, where he went 4 for 6 from deep with 25 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists, 3 steals, and 3 blocks, reporters asked him what changed. Şengün's answer was simple. I know I can shoot. The only thing for me was confidence, and shooting it consistently every time. That's what I'm doing right now. Confidence, the missing piece for 4 years, now unlocked. The historic performances started piling up. November 14th against Portland, 25 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks, 4 3-pointers. He became the youngest player in NBA history to reach those exact statistical marks in a single game. November 16th against Orlando, overtime thriller, 30 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists. Him and Durant combined for 65 points, both hitting tying shots in the final 25 seconds of regulation. 2 offensive alphas coexisting, they were dominating. November 20th against Cleveland, facing Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen, 2 of the best defenders in basketball. Şengün dropped 28 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. He became the first player in Rockets history to record at least 25 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists in 3 consecutive games. Not since Hakeem had Houston seen a center like this. But here's what's truly terrifying. It's not just the offense. Şengün, the guy they said couldn't defend, couldn't switch, couldn't survive in space, is averaging 1.4 steals and 1.0 blocks per game. Career highs in both categories. The defensive liability teams exploited in the playoffs? Gone. The weakness that ended Houston's season? Eliminated. Through 40 games. 21 points, 9.2 rebounds, 6.4 assists on 50% shooting. Career highs across the board. He joined Nikola Jokic as the only 2 centers in NBA history to record at least 5 assists in each of their first 11 games of a season. The only 2, Jokic and Şengün. That's the company he's keeping now. And yet, last week, the NBA announced their 2026 All-Star reserves. Alperen Şengün's name wasn't on the list. After everything, they're still doubting him. Houston is 31-17, 4th in the Western Conference. And just a week ago, with Kevin Durant sidelined by an ankle injury, Şengün reminded everyone what he's capable of alone. 39 points, 16 rebounds, season highs in both. He didn't just survive without his co-star, he dominated. The doubters said he couldn't shoot. He's drilling threes. They said he couldn't defend. He's getting stops. They said he was too old school. He's running a top 5 offense. They left him off the All-Star team. He dropped 39 the next game. And here's the scariest part. Şengün is 23 years old. 23. This isn't his peak. This is the beginning of his prime. Drafted 16th overall. Called too slow, too unathletic, too old school, written off as a project who couldn't survive in the modern NBA. Now he's running the offense for a championship contender, and Kevin Durant says he's never played with a center like him. The scariest part isn't what Şengün is doing right now. It's that he's still getting better, still proving everyone wrong. The NBA told him who he couldn't be. Alperen Şengün decided to show them who he actually is. This is not the same Alperen Şengün, and the league isn't ready for what comes next.